An 18-year-old girl, shotgun in hand, staring down her pleading dad and stepmom at the doorstep. Their faces twist from fake sweetness to sheer terror as she says, "One more step and I call the cops." This wasn't just a threat, it was the explosive. End to a year of betrayal, abuse, and eviction. But how did it get here? Stick around, because this revenge is pure, satisfying justice if you've ever been betrayed by the family who should protect you, or dreamed of standing your ground against toxic control and getting that sweet validation. Hit that like button. Now subscribe for more heart-pounding Reddit revenge stories. And turn on notifications so you never miss the karma comeback. Let's break it down. Let's call her Kira. At just 17, she was a high school senior navigating the chaos of teenage life in a small Texas town. Think dusty streets, the hum of pickup trucks, and the fluorescent glow of the local Heb grocery store during lunch breaks. Kira lived with her dad and stepmom, a woman who'd married into the family a few years back and immediately started flexing like she owned the place dad. He was the classic enabler passive, conflict avoidant, always choosing peace over protecting his daughter. Kira's bio mom was out of the daily picture, but divorce papers made it clear any big parenting decisions needed both parents' consented. All started with something so petty it boils the blood. Stepmom didn't like Kira's friends. Why? Because they were part of the LGBTQ+ community. They're a bad influence. She'd sneer, her voice dripping with judgment as she paced the kitchen, arms crossed, eyes narrow like daggers. Kira felt the sting of that bigotry, but she held her head. Her friends were her lifeline, kind, supportive, the family she chose. So when stepmom grounded her on February 10th, forbidding any contact, Kira's inner voice whispered rebellion. This isn't fair. She's not even my real mom. Then justice ignited the next day at school. Lunchtime hit, and Kira's stomach growled defiant. She slipped out to Heb for a quick snack, the cool store air. A brief escape from the tension at home, but fate or bad luck intervened. Dad spotted her. His face hardened, jaw clenched, as he grabbed her arm roughly, dragging her across the parking lot like a criminal. Kira's heart raced, humiliation burning her cheeks. "What are you doing?" she protested, but he didn't answer. He shoved her into the truck where stepmom waited, smirking in the passenger seat, her perfume overwhelming the cab like a cloud of smug authority. They yanked her out of school right then. As the school gates faded in the rear view, stepmom leaned back, her voice sharp and triumphant. "I'm married to your dad now. That makes me your mom. I have all the authority to ground you." Kira's blood boiled. She shot back, voice steady despite the fear, nodding her gut. "Check the divorce papers. Mom has custody rights. You can't do this without her say-so." Stepmom's eyes flashed with rage without warning. Her hand flew crack, slapping Kira across the face, glasses skewed, pain exploding like fireworks. Kira reacted on instinct, pushing her away in self-defense. The truck swerved slightly, tension thick as fog. What would you have done? Let it slide or fight back like Kira? Escalation came fast and furious. Stepmom, cheeks flushed with fury, drove straight to the police station, hauling Kira in to sue her for assault. Hours ticked by in that sterile room, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, Kira's hands trembling as she sat alone, powerlessness washing over her like a cold wave. Why isn't Dad stopping this? He's just sitting there, but truth prevailed. Stepmom grudgingly reviewed the divorce docs, black and white. No unilateral grounding without both parents' charges dropped. Victory. Hardly back home, stepmom's arrogance doubled down clean. The entire house now. Her tone was commanding, finger jabbing the air. Kira, still smarting from the slap, stood firm. "No, this isn't your house to boss me around." Stepmom's face twisted into a snarl. "Pack your stuff and get out." Kira refused, planting her feet on the worn living room carpet. But stepmom didn't back down. She stormed into Kira's room, yanking clothes from drawers, stuffing them into black garbage bags, boxing bags, as Kira called them, with vicious force. Posters ripped from walls, books tumbling, the sound of zippers and crinkling plastic echoed like a nightmare. Then, out they went, hurled onto the front lawn under the harsh February sun, never come back. Stepmom screamed, slamming the door with a thud that shook the frame. Dad. He watched from the sidelines, mumbling excuses, his eyes avoiding her as betrayal hit like a gut punch. Kira stood there, bags at her feet, tears blurring her vision. The neighborhood quiet except for a distant dog's bark. Powerlessness gripped her. Homeless at 17, all because she dared to have friends and stand up for herself. She crashed with relatives, piecing together her senior year amid the emotional wreckage. Months blurred into survival mode, school by day, tears by night, inner thoughts racing. They think they can break me, treat me like trash. No more. The breaking point solidified that night on the lawn. Resolve hardening like steel. Kira vowed they'd regret this. Meticulous planning began short. Sharp decisions block their numbers temporarily. Focus on graduation. Build alliances with family who saw through Stepmom's cruelty. Dad's own mom and aunt, who despised her controlling ways. A year past February turned to spring, and graduation loomed. The phone rang. Dad and Stepmom, voices dripping false concern. Are you graduating? We'll be there. Kira's grip tightened on the receiver. She can't come if she does. I'll tell the teachers and cops everything. The slap, the eviction, you're not welcome. Silence. Dad relented, showing up with grandma and aunt, their faces beaming with pride, while Stepmom stood at home. The ceremony air was electric. Kira crossing the stage in cap and gown, diploma in hand, a symbol of her resilience. Grandma and aunt slipped her crisp $100 bills each, hugs warm and genuine. Dad, a measly $5, handed over with a sheepish grin. Come stay with us for 3 days. We'll give you anything you want. Kira's eyes narrowed. Bribe? After everything? No, I'm staying with Mom, sighed Grandma, helping her out. Disrespect dismissed, but they wouldn't quit the next day. Tires crunched on gravel. They'd driven hours to her doorstep, faces plastered with fake smiles. Just a couple days. Sweetie, Kira's pulse quickened, tension built. Door creaked open. If you step inside. I called the cops. Then the master stroke. She fetched Grandma's shotgun, reserved for intruders, holding it firmly not aimed, but visible. The weight in her hands, cold metal against her palm, empowered her. Their eyes widened. Color draining. Dad stammered. Stepmom's arrogance cracked into fear. They backed away, truck peeling off in defeat. What would you have done? Cave to the guilt or draw? That line like Kira? Revenge execution unfolded cinematically. Calls flooded in, voices sickly sweet. Hey, can you come over? Texts pinged relentlessly. Kira's responses? Ice cold, no block, repeat. Each rejection a sensory stab. Her phone vibrating, ignored. Their desperation palpable even through screen. Stepmom barred, fuming alone while Kira shone under stadium lights, surrounded by real support. Dad's paltry $5. A slap in the face, underscoring his selfishness. Then the standoff, shotgun gleaming in sunlight. Their retreat, a scramble of dust and defeat. Shock rippled through them, arrogance shattered. Cruelty exposed. Kira felt it, catharsis flooding her veins. Validation like a warm embrace. They can't control me anymore. Tears of relief mixed with triumph as they drove off. Tails between legs, justice, raw and real. This tale hits hard. Family isn't about blood. It's about respect. When betrayal and disrespect strip your power, revenge can be setting boundaries that echo forever. Karma doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through silence. What boundaries have you set? If Kira's payback had you cheering, smash that like. Subscribe for more Reddit revenges that deliver justice. And drop in the comments, what's your most epic family standoff? Share below, I read everyone. Thanks for watching. Remember, your worth isn't negotiable. See you next time.